In one of my earlier videos when I was talking about Adrien and Problem Broner, saying that he's a 4-time world champion, could have been a million per fight pay-per-view star. You know, he let his career go downhill, man. Broner fell off. I mean, it's probably one of the fastest all-time busts in boxing history. You know, I don't think nobody rose to the top as fast as Broner did and fell down to the bottom ever. You know, and wasn't able to, you wasn't able to even see the downfall of his career. But a few trinkle fights, but some boxers, you see them reach the height of their career, and then you slowly see them descend down to the bottom out of prominence. But Adrien Broner rose to the top and fell down even faster. But I also said that it's a possible way for Adrien Broner to work his way back to financial stability, given that right now everybody's saying Adrien Broner's broke. So I was sitting back looking at Adrien Broner, looking at his career and just looking at where he is at. And I was just saying, man, he got a name, but how could Adrien Broner get himself back to financial stability? Because if you look at him on some of the things he's doing online, he's massively out of shape. Massively out of shape. Can Adrien Broner buckle down for probably a year straight and get himself sharp enough to get a decent fight and pull that off, fight a fighter a little level above that, pull that off? And I say maybe if he could get himself in decent shape in a year from now, and then after that year, he pull off 3 back-to-back, maybe 3 or 4 back-to-back victories and leveling up in competition as he does it, given he has a name in the sport, I believe, because all the champions are hungry for a name right now, and Broner is a name. But he would have to get himself back in position where people believe he could win a world title again, and I think Broner could get a meaningful fight. But that's just one way he can get himself back in it. Now, I said he can also be a trainer, but he got to get his head in the game. He drink too much. His mind ain't right. And I think because he's kind of making himself appear as a clown, I don't think a real up-and-coming fighter would take his tutelage right now. He would have to get a lot sharper and get his head in the game a lot more and be in the game training up under somebody and looking like he ready to go before I believe a top fighter that really has a career that can reach the pinnacle would trust Adrien Broner in his corner right now. But that's another way he can go in as a trainer. But I'm starting to really see Adrien Broner is starting to stream. Now, I believe that's one talent he had, like boxing, is he always been a personality. Anybody who follow boxing know Adrien Broner, even though he was controversial, he was a personality. And he was very outspoken, and at times he was funny. You know what I mean? So I say, whoever this guy is, I'm not for sure who he is. I think his name is Dean Green or something like that. I'm not for sure. But it seemed like he's a visionary, and he see where Adrien Broner possibly could be a huge star streaming if he can keep him focused. And that's what he's starting to do. And I say, you know what? That's good for Adrien Broner because you know what? He's still a brother. You know what I mean? Even though he was a bonehead at times, and he probably was hard-headed, and probably a lot of people warned him what the future was going to be if he kept going in the direction he was going in. And he kept going in that direction, and he went bankrupt. But I think he has the opportunity right now to put himself back in a position to where he can at least get financially stable. Now, we don't know if Adrien Broner is R broke or he just rich broke. You know what I mean? Because R broke is homeless on the street broke, and it don't look like AB's that broke. It just look like AB really don't got the money coming in to just flex like he used to. Some saying it's a clip where he didn't even have money for an Uber. You know what I mean? And, that could have been true, but they also could be playing on the fact that everybody want to laugh at you when you down. So, you know what? Let's look like I'm super down bad and see how the views come off of that. And if a lot of views hit it, that lets you know people is following him for one, and for two, they want to laugh at him, laugh at you when you down. You know, and that's how people is, man. You know, so sometimes you got to chase the algorithms. I don't think AB down that bad, but I think AB down bad. I'd be surprised if AB got 100,000. You know, 100,000. Even though that's decent money, especially if you own you a cool crib and your car paid for. 100,000 some cool money, and you still trying to build on top of that. But you know, if you got 100,000 and every night you going out, eating out, spending the bag, drinking, kicking with females, Airbnb, that ain't no money. You know what I mean? So hopefully, whoever the young cat is, I think his name is Dean Green, I hope he hold on to AB. I hope AB see the vision he see and AB get his mind right. You know, it's no different than finesse 2 times. You know, the music game, you know, Mob Ties got him blocked where he can't drop the music. So what he doing? He's streaming. You know what I mean? But I think Finesse, he kind of out there and outspoken like Adrien Broner, but Finesse got his head in the game a little bit stronger than AB do right now, because Finesse look like he doing his own thing. He don't need nobody to push him towards the streaming. I think Finesse kind of peeped the game itself. You know what I mean? And he kind of pushing towards that because that's another avenue to keep his name buzzing and a way to get this money. You know what I mean? So hopefully AB keep his head in the game. If he get that streaming going, he might get a phone call to do some commentating on some boxing. He go out there and he do good on the commentating, and then we could kind of see AB career starting to roll back into a positive direction. This the Aaron L Show. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe. Show your boys some love. Comment so I can holler back at you. This the Aaron L Show. Love y'all. Be back with another one.